Okay. History repeats itself in more ways than one. By Friendly the Flower. Chapter 7, Swords Blazing. After some more walking, Clover and Sorova finally exited the lab area and entered another catwalk. Turning to the right, they eventually made it to a large platform with a massive computer. Sorova approached the computer to get a closer look.
Oh, here's the main computer. We can use this thing to shut access down and open the path for us. Let's see. Well, maybe you can take a stab at it, Clover. Technology and I don't really mix well. I usually punch robots.
Yeah. Alright then, I'll see if I can figure just how to do that. Give me a minute.
Clover said, as he walked up to the large array of buttons and keys. He navigated the menus and stumbled upon the Games tab, one game called Geology Dash being present. After taking an immense amount of willpower to resist selecting the game, Clover exited the tab and continued searching until he found the command called Emergency Shutdown in the Settings tab.
This must be it.
Clover said, as he activated the command. After an annoying, just kidding joke from the computer, a bridge formed leading to the next path as Sorova walked towards it.
Alright, let's hope that works. It's a shame access had to end up this way. Maybe I can... No, we have to keep going.
Clover began walking through a large furnace area with Sorova following closely behind them. Sorova tried to keep her cool, but her nerves were through the roof right now. She was stalling too much, but she didn't know how to go about this. She needed Clover's soul for her plan to work, but she really didn't want to just attack him out of the blue. Sorova already tried that several times, but her body could only tremble every time she tried to move. Maybe she could take him to the lab in Hotland and do it there. She did hear the royal scientist was doing soul research there, so maybe that could help. But still, she really didn't want to do this if she had to take Clover's soul. But what other choice does she have other than letting all of her husband's work be for nothing? While Sorova was mulling over her own thoughts, a door suddenly closed right in front of her, snapping her out of her stupor. Then she realized Clover was nowhere to be seen, meaning he had to be stuck on the other side. Sorova pounded on the door, trying to get it to open to no avail.
Damn it, Clover, are you there? Hang on, let me see if I can bust this door down.
Sorova took out her magic staff and fired a large energy blast at the door, but it barely left a dent.
Crap, that barely did anything. Clover, see if you can find a switch in there that'll open the door. I don't know why we didn't try that first.
Alright, got it.
Clover responded as he walked into the furnace room. Then he saw what looked like access before he suddenly powered up out of nowhere.
Warning. Running on emergency backup power.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Clover thought to himself, annoyed with how persistent this tin can was.
Human, you tried to shut me down, I see. I'm tired of you and your friends thwarting my plans. I am this close to directing all my steam into my root finger, on both hands if you keep pushing me. And yes, I am yelling. My topography box just lacks the exclamation point character. A shame, really. But at least I have question marks.
Sorova continued trying to blast the door down, but it was going to take a lot of hits.
Clover, is that access I hear in there? Listen, I don't think we can outrun this guy any longer. Please just don't destroy him. Try to find a peaceful way to outwit him. I don't want children's creations smashed to bits.
Clover brushed his hand against his holster as he stared down Axis.
Don't worry, I won't be recycling any tin cans today.
I am not a tin can. I am Axis Model 14, a robot with the most advanced specs the Underground has ever seen. I can even support games with ultra-high definition graphics, with ray tracing, even if I do not contain a screen.
If we were talking
Although
about...
I hate...
Yeah, if we were talking an online forum right now, I definitely never react to you for what you just yapped about.
I only use NVIDIA. I use the power of AI. Okay, I'll stop.
Just before Axis started a battle with Clover, suddenly something stopped him.
Yes, I forgot. It seems I can't attack you since you are unarmed and not a threat. Forget this. I will now make you a threat by arming you with a dangerous weapon. That will certainly fix the issue.
Axis looked around before spotting a trash can. The lid was slightly open to reveal the handle of a sword inside.
Here we go.
Axis took off the lid and rolled over to Clover.
Please take this.
After Axis forcefully gave Clover the trash can lid, he rolled back.
Now you are a threat. Time to fight for real now.
Clover looked real peeved about this.
Oh, come on. Can't you at least give me the cool-looking sword in there?
I did not see that was there. Thanks for reminding me. Seeing as I can attack you now, I will use this weapon against you.
Axis said as he grabbed the sword.
Now, as those cool knights would say, on guard day.
Clover couldn't really think of a peaceful way out of this, so he just had to outlast him for now. That sword he asked would make it difficult, though. Axis started off by firing a few magical energy balls at Clover. Seeing no way to effectively dodge them, he had to use his new trash can lid shield thing to block them. Clover's shield managed to absorb all the attacks Axis sent him. Axis looked peeved by this.
Hey, don't use that weapon I gave you to block my attacks. Can you just stand still and stop ruining my day and cheating?
Axis continued firing magic energy attacks at Clover in different patterns before he suddenly began charging up a large ball of energy. He fired it at Clover, but he deflected it back at him with his shield. The ball hit Axis at full force, causing his backup power supply to drain.
Ouch, you weren't supposed to do that. You are really... Why urinating? Why that?
Because he's...
You are really pissing me off right now. Yeah.
At this point, Axis started to make use of this sword, throwing several slashing attacks at Clover, which he had to block with a shield. Once his shield absorbed enough energy balls again, Axis charged up another large one. Once he fired it, Clover deflected it again, but then Axis deflected it himself with a sword, sending the energy ball right up into the wall as it dissipated.
Nice try, human. There's nothing you can do now.
Clover rolled his eyes in annoyance as he continued blocking Axis's attacks. Eventually, Axis fired another large energy ball at him, which Clover deflected. Then, just as Axis deflected the ball with his sword, Clover moved to the side to deflect the ball again, right back at Axis, which he didn't see coming. Axis was pushed back slightly as the energy ball struck him.
What the actual fudge? How can you possibly deflect more than once? This is literal bull poop.
Calm down, you potty mouth. There's no way you're taking me down that easy.
Clover said as he tightened his grip on his shield. The next time Axis fired another one of those big energy balls, the two of them were practically playing a ping-pong match with each other. Clover managed to outlast him, though, and score another hit directly on Axis.
Oh, fudgesicles. Fudge crapsicles. I see my battery power is running low. It's a good thing I brought these backup generators.
Axis said as two power generators appeared next to him, causing a shield to form around Axis. After gathering some more energy in his shield, Clover deflected another magic ball of energy towards one of the generators, completely destroying it.
Darn, I knew I should have equipped the generators with their own swords. Please don't do that again, by the way.
Clover then proceeded to do that again, destroying the second generator, which caused Axis's battery power to be almost fully drained.
Screw you, 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 screw you.
Something tells me you're a bit mad you're doing so bad right now.
Clover said with a teasing smirk. Then he heard another energy blast to the right of him where the door just was.
Just hang in there a bit longer, Clover. I've almost broken this stupid door down.
Axis was swinging wildly at Clover now, which he continued blocking with his shield.
Why won't you just put that shield down and die like an honorable little human?
Clover forcefully pushed Axis back with his shield before he heard a loud blast coming from the door, which a huge part of which is now shattered to pieces. Zeruba climbed her way through the hole and ran over to Clover.
All right, Clover, I'm here. Thanks for holding out while I was busy. One more of these shocks should do him in. Let's finish this together, all right?
After Zeruba casted a magic barrier around him, Clover continued blocking Axis's attacks. Once he blocked enough attacks, Axis began charging one final energy ball to fire at Clover. The two then played ping pong once again before Clover jumped to the left to deflect it one last time right onto the robot's face. It hit him so hard the sword flew right out of Axis's hands and into the molten hot pit below. Rest in peace, sword. You will be missed.
Beep, beep. Showing off strenuous emotions to save power. Ah, what did you do to me? I don't feel an utter murderous rage anymore. I do not know what to do with myself right now. I suppose I would just stare at you blankly until you do something.
Clover turned to look at Zeruba.
Zeruba, I think it's time we use our plan B again.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. I got it right here.
Zeruba said as she took out the robot and presented it in front of Axis.
What is this? This feeling?
Then Axis suddenly began vibrating before his eyes turned into the shape of hearts. Zeruba looked concerned.
Soulmate located. Simp protocol activated. Perfection personified. Where has this beauty been all my life?
Oh my, guess he really does like her.
Clover said with bewilderment.
The shimmer, the complexion, the curves.
Okay, Axis, there's a child present. Clover, let's wrap this up, okay?
Clover nodded before sparing Axis, ending the battle.
This emotion, it feels so nice. Even some of my power got restored due to sheer love itself. I must thank you for opening my eyes. I had no idea such wondrous sights existed.
Glad we could finally reach a level of civility.
Zeruba said with a relieved smile.
Can I keep them?
Well, I think you should get to know them first. Maybe take them on a nice date.
Ah, well, I can date them right here. This place does look pretty romantic.
Great. Anyway, not to rain on the parade, but Clover and I have to go.
Where?
Hotland, just a business trip.
Well, I wish you a pleasant journey then. Now, where were we?
Axis said as he turned to look at the robot next to him. Clover smiled as he continued forward.
Phew, we're finally done. Come on, Zeruba, next stop is Hotland.
Clover turned around to keep walking. He looked back to see Zeruba wasn't moving, and there was a pained expression on her face.
Zeruba, are you okay?
Zeruba was trembling. She knew she couldn't stall this for much longer, and she really didn't want to do this to begin with, but is this what her daughter felt right when she was about to give her that serum?
I can't. I can't do it.
Can't do what?
Clover asked with a concerned look. Zeruba took a deep breath. It was too late now. She had to come clean about this.
Clover, I'm sorry for lying to you all this time. There's something you should know.
Hold it right there.
Clover and Zeruba jumped before looking to see Starlo enter the room with Kanako closely behind him, a panicked look on her face.
Mom, please don't do this. Star, Kanako, what are you two doing here?
Zeruba asked with both a shocked and scared expression.
Well, you see, me and Ned decided to renovate your house for you. To have a little get together tonight and cheer you and Kaneko up about Clover. But while we're there, we've found a basement. And there were tapes under there that we watched.
Zeruba tensed up as Starlo continued.
Zeruba, just what are you planning to do with Clover?
Zeruba began trembling again before letting out a shaky sigh. Her plan had failed, all because she was too attached to Clover to do something as simple as taking a soul. Now that her daughter knows her plan, there's no way her husband's mission can be fulfilled now. The least she could do was tell the truth.
I was about to tell Clover this, but I'll tell you as well, Star.
Zeruba took a deep breath before she spoke.
My husband, Jujin, shortly before he passed, he was doing research on human souls. He was trying to make a serum that would make any normal monster into a boss monster, to help us be able to defend ourselves against humanity if they ever attack us again. And he eventually did make the serum, but it was impure, so it didn't work. I managed to use some leftover extract to presumably remove the impurity, and then...
Noticing Soroba was getting nervous, Kanako spoke up for her.
I volunteered to take the refined serum myself, but I backed out of it at the last moment. I was just too scared that it wouldn't work.
Yes, I'm busy.
Soroba sniffled as she nodded.
That's right, and I'm still sorry for that, Kanako.
Alexa, end
For
call.
almost endangering your life. It's okay, Mom. You were just trying to fulfill Dad's wish. Clover?
Sorry. Oh yeah, I was doing something. Hang on. Okay, I found my line. I can't even imagine the pain you've been feeling all this time, but the fact that you didn't bring your... Wait, what?
No, that's not your line.
Oh, sorry,
Hang
I was
on,
lost.
Kama.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on. So what does all this have to do with me?
Clover asked her.
Well, in order to be completely sure the serum would work, I would need a pure human soul. A soul like yours, Clover.
Well, wait. So you were going to...
Clover nervously stepped back. Soroba fell to her knees, guilt pained over her face. She clutched her chest, her voice cracking with every word.
Yes, I'm so sorry for lying to you this whole time, Clover. I just wanted to do what Chujin couldn't. I thought I owed it to him, but when I saw you, how kind you were to Kanako, to everyone, I realized I couldn't do it. Not to you. I don't expect you to forgive me for this.
Clover looked conflicted for a moment before he walked over to Soroba and hugged her, taking her by surprise.
I can't even imagine the pain you've been feeling all this time, but the fact that you didn't bring yourself to kill me to complete your goal, it means you're not really a bad person, okay?
Soroba began tearing up as she hugged Clover back.
Gosh. Oh, gosh. Gosh, you just keep surprising me, Clover. Thank you for everything.
Starlo tipped his hat down, thinking about everything Soroba said.
I won't deny that what you were planning was unjustifiable. But Clover's right. The fact you didn't go through with it means your heart's still in the right place. You just didn't know it until now.
Clover began to realize something as he let go of Soroba and looked at Starlo.
Starlo, you said you found some tapes in that basement, right?
Yeah, I did. And there was a TV in there that we used to watch them. Why do you ask?
Clover reached into his pocket and pulled out another tape to everyone's surprise.
Kanako, when you took me to see your dad's grave earlier, I found this tape hidden behind it in some bushes. Sorry for snooping like that, but do you know about this?
Kanako looked shocked to say the least. All this time she hadn't found a tape near her dad's grave.
No, I didn't know about this. Mom, did you put that there? I didn't know there was a tape there either. It looks different from the ones I watched myself. I don't think you could have... I just don't know.
Soroba said, looking unsure how to feel about this. Clover thought about it for a moment before an idea came to him.
Hang on, I think I have an idea.
Clover walked up to Axis, who seemed to be way too infatuated with our robot to notice anything was happening right near him.
Hey, Axis, I need your help with something.
Sorry. I was distracted. What may I assist you with, Hatted Human?
I just need you to process this tape that I have here and tell us the information inside it. Can you do that?
Clover said, holding the tape up in front of him.
I do not possess a screen, but I can process the tape and relay the information to you. Just insert the tape into this compartment here.
Axis said, pointing it to the back of his head. Clover walked around Axis and spotted a rectangular compartment on the back of his head. He opened it up and slid the tape inside before closing it.
Did it work? Is it processing?
It is processing now. I will let you know when it is complete.
So who's the robot?
Kaneko asked curiously.
That's Axis. He's one of your dad's creations. He was quite an issue for us during our journey through here, but we just managed to pacify him at last.
Tsuruba explained to her. Kaneko looked at Axis in awe as she approached them.
Wow, so my dad created this? I guess I still have so much to learn when it comes to him.
Starlo curiously looked at this interesting robot.
So, Axis, right? How long do you think it'll take to process that tape? Well, it is currently at 1% progress right now. I estimate this process to be finished in about 4 hours from now.
Clover did not look happy.
4 hours? Ain't no way we waiting that long.
Kaneko sighed as she walked up to Axis.
Hang on, I got this.
Kaneko then slammed her fist hard on Axis's head.
Shit. Processing at, 100% complete.
Everyone looked at Kaneko in surprise, who had a smug look on her face.
Well, at least when it comes to robots, I know enough that this trick works every time.
So it's finished processing? You know what's in the tape now, Axis?
Clover asked him.
Well, I only just processed it. Now I need to view the tape myself so I can relay the information it holds you. It shouldn't take long. The duration is less than 2 minutes. Just give me a moment while I view it.
Alright. Well, do your thing then.
Clover responded, as they all began waiting anxiously while Axis viewed the tape in his head. A while later, something flickered inside Axis as he finished viewing the tape. He began feeling these emotions that he never remembered feeling. Yet he knows that he felt this way before somehow. That pain of being forced to do something he didn't want to do. It was all coming back to him now. Clover looked concerned as he saw Axis tremble a little.
Axis, are you alright? What was in that tape?
I see now why my creator erased this from my memory. Had a human... No. Clover. I apologize for what I am about to tell you.
Everyone tensed up as they nervously listened to what Axis was about to relate to them.
The tape was a recording of Chujin, my creator. He said that shortly after he was fired from his position at the Steamworks, he went to Snowden with his daughter one day on a business trip. That is when a human attacked a monster that his daughter was with. After that happened, my creator saw this opportunity to apprehend the human, so he sent me to do that. But he overshot some variables, miscalculated, and my programming. I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice.
Kaneko's body tensed up as she anticipated what Axis was just about to say, not wanting to believe it was true. Clover seemed to catch on as well, his hat casting a shadow over his eyes.
I was forced to neutralize the human. By the time Chujin caught up with me, it was too late. When he looked at the scene before him, he looked just as scared as I was. I tried to cry, but I couldn't. However, he said that this outcome was still earned, that he could still salvage this opportunity. After erasing my memory of this event, he took the human soul and began conducting experiments on it. To make this serum, he didn't say much more than that. I'm sorry if this is hard for you all to hear. It was just as hard for me to remember all this.
Everyone was shocked, to say the least. Starlo stood there speechless, unable to comprehend that Chujin would do all those things. Kaneko stared at Axis in disbelief, not knowing the same human that attacked her was indirectly killed by her father's hands. Clover was trembling in both anger for Chujin and sadness for the fact Axis was basically forced to murder an innocent child, and that was just likely just defending themselves. Tsuruba took it the worst, though. She fell on her knees again and began crying as it all sank in.
God damn it. Why? why did he keep all this from me? He told me he just retired, not fired from his job, and then he did the same thing I was going to do, but I had no idea that was how he made the serum. By experimenting on a child's soul? Why didn't he tell me all of that in the tape?
Because he didn't want you to think less of him.
Starla blurted out. Sir Robert looked up to Starla with teary eyes.
What did you say?
Those were his words, not mine. Boy, shoot. We saw some of the other times that were hidden, which you likely didn't see. He said he was fired from his job at the Seymours because of the failed access models. He stated he didn't want to tell you the truth for that reason.
Sir Robert seemed to be even more hurt by this.
But I wouldn't have thought less of him. He's my husband. So why didn't he trust me enough to tell him? I don't understand.
Kanako didn't know what to think of this. She had no idea her own father would do any of this. Why did he have to lie to her and her mom? And why did he have to send out Axis to murder that child? It was likely an accident, but then he said that outcome was earned? How was that outcome earned? Even though that human attacked her, she could tell the human was just afraid and wanted to be left alone. Given how Axis put it, her death must have not exactly been quick and painless either. Kanako felt like she was about to throw up with all this information overwhelming her. Clover went up to Saroba and hugged her again.
I'm sorry, Saroba. This was a lot to take in for all of us. But we're here for you.
Starla kneeled next to Saroba and put his hands on her shoulder reassuringly. Butters?
Oh. Shoot. Fuck, I'm lost.
Starla kneeled next to Saroba.
Shoot. The deputy's right. Given what Axis said, Chuja might not have made the right choices sometimes. But some of them more likely cause us the pain we're feeling now. But I always knew his heart was in the right place. And he did many other things to help make the underground a better place for so many. That's his legacy that you and Kaneko should carry on.
Saroba sniffled as she responded.
I never thought of it that way. How could I be so tunnel visioned? I can't believe I was about to do the same thing he did.
But he didn't go through with it. That's what matters. And I forgive you.
Clover said quietly, hugging her tighter. More tears left Saroba's eyes as she hugged Clover back.
I don't deserve you, Clover. There's no way I could hurt someone as pure-hearted as you.
Kanako was lost in her thoughts before she suddenly felt herself getting hugged by Clover as well.
Don't think I forgot you, Kaneko. I guess you're probably feeling a lot of pain right now after what we just heard. Just know that your heart was always in the right place. And that you'll continue to carry on his legacy while making the right choices at the same time.
Kanako's eyes were getting watery as her face flushed a bit before hugging him back.
Thanks for that, Clover. And you give amazing hugs.
Right back at you.
Clover responded, smiling as he held her a few seconds longer.
I think I'm gonna cry too.
Starlo said, wiping a tear from his eye. Clover chuckled as he gave Starlo a hug as well.
Guess I'll be giving everyone hugs now.
Thanks, Deputy. You're too kind.
Starlo responded, a proud smile on his face.
May I also receive this thing called hug-hatted human.
You know what? Fine, why not? You need one too after what you just told us.
Clover said, hugging the metallic robot. Kanako sighed, her head finally cleared.
So, what's the game plan now?
Stella readjusted his head as he thought about it.
Well, wasn't our main goal initially just to get Clover home?
Ruben looked worried upon hearing that.
Well, to do that, we need... Well, to do that, we'd need to go through Asgore first. And I don't think you would. Mom, we have to think of something.
Kanako said, starting to look unsure now. Soroba sighed as she stood up.
Alright, but first let's get out of here. This heat is killing me. UG apartment should be near the elevator up ahead, so we can discuss our next plan of action there.
Alright, sounds good. We ought to get going then.
Clover said, nodding in agreement.
It seems you are all leaving now. I just want to thank you all for everything. My battery is getting very low, so I must return to my charging station.
Soroba looked over at Axis with a weak smile.
Right. I'll see you around, Axis.
Goodbye, tall lady.
Axis said before picking up his new robot girlfriend and leaving the room. Starla breathed a sigh of relief as he began walking towards the exit.
Phew, nice to have all that behind us now. Let's go, everyone.
Clover gave Kanako a reassuring smile as he led her and everyone else out of the steamworks.
Alright, I can finally eat my steak now.
Steak.
Lovely.
Alright,
Enjoy your steak.
so I guess I'll be back for next Friday.
Okay.
And
See
next,
ya.
Oh yeah.
yeah, next chapter is where shit hits the fan.
Oh good.
Can't wait for
I
that.
like it when that happens.
Alright, I'll stop recording.